Well, hello there, you sexy motherfuckers. Welcome to this week's episode of Video Ferox, where it's a new month, therefore it's a new theme. And what's the theme of the month? This month, it's going to be Macho Madness. And does that mean that we're going to be watching every single movie that the Macho Man Randy Savage ever made? No, it doesn't.
The Macho Man Randy Savage is not happy with your decision, yeah.
Does that mean that we're finally getting around to watching Don't Stop the Music with the Village People? No, it doesn't mean that either. No, it means big, muscular, sweaty, macho men with big fucking guns killing people indiscriminately. Like tonight's movie, Red Mob. So, before we roll the trailer, a little bit of setup on this one. Me and Ian, we reviewed this movie ages ago, back before YouTube fucked us. And I thought the episode was lost forever because I didn't save the footage. I found the footage tucked away in a corner of the hard drive somewhere, and I'm like, sweet! So, in the interest of being green, motherfuckers, we're just going to recycle that footage and give it to you again with a brand new special edition. Woo! Eat your heart out, George Lucas. So let's just roll the trailer and we'll get right into it, shall we?
The Soviet Union exploded, and the Red Mob War began. This is the untold story. World champion pilots in death-cheating stunts never before seen in motion pictures.
There's your dick arriving.
Let's go! Go! Get out of there and hit the dirt. Move it! Let's go! Come on! 17 real helicopters and 42 vehicles totally demolished in thrilling scenes of non-stop action. Twilight in the head or a maniac. Where'd you last fly one of these? Hold it steady! Red Mob pulls out all the stops and pushes all the right buttons. Give me a clear shot! Red Mob goes beyond the limits of cinematic adventures.
He's getting away, Commander.
Red Mob, new from Cinevet, coming soon to a theater near you.
Holy crap, I had no idea that Russians made action movies. Apparently at least one of them.
They do. I think the only other movie that I've seen where it was a Russian action film was Wild East. And that was the Seattle Film Festival.
Okay, no, that's...
Fucking ages ago.
Okay, that's a strong point.
That was 88...
Something like that, yeah. A while
88,
ago.
89? That was a long time ago.
We just got done seeing Red Mob. Red Mob, which was after the Soviet Union collapsed and they had a whole bunch of generals that weren't being paid and auctioning off nuclear missiles for vodka. A couple of resourceful folks did this joint production with America. And they basically made the Stallone movie Cliffhanger. They started making that movie, and then about halfway through, they realized, wait a second, we want to make Commando, and then they started making Commando. Am I wrong? Am I
I
wrong?
didn't really catch enough of the film. I walked in about 10, 15 minutes into the film. I didn't see the opening. I mean, when I walked in, the bad guys hadn't turned up yet. But they showed up right after that.
So the
And
premise...
at that point, it was Commando.
The premise of the movie basically is that you have this Russian KGB ninja commando badass named Oleg. And he runs a survivalist camp up in the Russian mountains, kind of on the borderlands of Afghanistan and that kind of neck of the woods, kind of, because they had a very strong Muslim influence in the natives.
Yeah.
And he wants to spend some time with his son. And so he gets his son up to the camp. And basically, and it's like, yeah, I'm going to make a man out of you, because he's a scrawny 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And, okay, his workout regime is he gets a fucking boulder and just power lifts this fucking huge rock. He takes ice-cold showers.
Well, the thing I was reminding of is that meme that turns up on the internet, and it shows like the Marines or whatever, the Army, and it's like 5 guys with this log that's about as big around as a dessert plate, and they all go, "Argh!" And there's all 5 of these guys with this one log, and then the other picture is this matronly Russian woman with a log twice as big around on one shoulder, and she's just like, do.
That's basically what this dude is. He is just a fucking bear.
Yeah.
Anyway, so him and the kid are doing this, the get to know each other bonding moment. And he, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to make a man out of you. And the kid absolutely just fucking hates being there.
Yeah, the kid's being made to take the cold showers like his dad. And the bit that I just fretting as hell is because the boy walks in the room and he's basically in his underwear. Shirtless, in his underwear, and he's got a towel. And there's brief back and forth, and I'm gonna go take my shower. And his dad's like, Oleg's like, yeah, okay, great. And it remains
the first instance where he took the shower. Holy shit, this is cold. Get back in there. And then the next time he had to take the shower, Oleg is fucking holding him in a bear hug under this pouring shower. He's just like absolutely cold.
Okay, I missed that. So anyway, the boy leaves to go take the shower after obviously he's been subjugated forcefully to it. And you just see the father, and Oleg's doing whatever he's doing. And you hear the shower start. And then you hear this kind of noise. And the dad like, ha ha ha. And it cuts to the shower. And here's the boy. His son's now wearing clothes. The shower's going. He's got his hands out in the water flow. And he's just doing this. Splishy splashy noises. And then he tentatively puts his head under so his hair gets wet. Turns the shower off, goes back to his dad. No shower.
So that's the level of interaction these two have. Meanwhile, there's a bunch of renegade KGB agents, and they want to go steal some of the opium or something from the Afghanistans. And they are going to go hijack this convoy that's rumbling through the desert, and they need a man of particular badass skills to help them go and attack the convoy. So they go to Oleg and they say, "Hey man, you want to come help steal some opium, and we'll cut you in for some cash." And he's like, "No, fuck off, no." Yeah. So the Russian KGB dudes, they're like, "All right, we need some leverage. Let's kidnap the kid."
Yes, there's the motivate. They're like, yeah, okay, we'll take his kid to it, but they don't actually have to go take the kid. The kid freaking walked into their lair all on his own.
This is true.
It's like because the kid befriends this guy Nikolai.
Yeah.
Who he calls
Oleg's
Nick,
friend. Yeah.
Oleg's friend. Who the boy calls Nick, and Oleg is like, Nick? Who's Nick? But Nikolai ends up going in there, gets beat up. The boy goes looking for him, and that's how the boy gets in their hands, because Nikolai gets he gets kidnapped.
And so they let Nicholas go, and they say, we're going to hang on to the kid. Go tell, Oleg that we've got his kid. And so Nikolai, he goes up to him and is like, dude, I'm really fucking sorry. I just got your kid kidnapped. And so Oleg just whoops the shit out of him.
Yep.
And goes and off to save his kid. Which sets up when he gets in over his head, because even a Russian badass eventually hits the, oh shit, the poop is up to my eyeballs.
Well, there's one thing I wanted to touch upon in regards to the sequence where Oleg beats the crap out of Nikolai,
all right,
for his son being lost, and there's the whole bit where he's in the front, Oleg's in the front seat of the car, and Nikolai's in the back seat, and one of the henchmen is also there, and with a gun, and Oleg's all like, yeah, go ahead and kill him, but not now. I'm da-da-da-da. And he and the bad guys don't see it, but Oleg looks at Nikolai and goes, and winks at him, which is like, oh, you just put all of that on and happened to beat the shit out of him while you were doing it.
And he was on your side the whole time. So, and that sets up a little later down the road when Nikolai gets into the shit over his eyeballs, or Oleg gets into the shit over his eyeballs, and Nikolai comes in and saves the day like a motherfucking pro.
Oh, yeah. After Oleg has done his bit where he beats the shit out of Nikolai and then he leaves, and then Nikolai manages to beat up the other guy and escape and undo his handcuffs, and he goes back to the place where he had been before, where the kidnapping happened, and he's going in there, and there's the one Muslim guy, and he's like, "What are you doing here? I don't like strangers. I don't know. Get out of here. Beat it. Scram." And then Nikolai forces his way into the guy's home and starts wandering around.
Brilliant.
And there's all kinds of women there. I'm getting like, what does this guy have, like 5 wives? And all the women are saying the same thing. It's like, what are you doing here? Get out! And Nikolai's trying to explain, and it's like, no, get out, get out, get out. And finally, he's like, literally gets shoved out, and the door slammed on him, and he's like, fuck. But that whole sequence is great because Nikolai storms into this guy's home, and he's like, "What are you doing here? Get out!" And he walks into the one room, and there's this boy on a prayer mat, and the boy's praying, doing the Islam
good prayer.
They
They just rang the bell.
The bell had rung, and you can hear the prayer going, and the boy's doing his thing, and totally ignores him. Nikolai walks in, looks at him. The boy's like, "You're
Whatever,
not
man,
here. I'm doing my thing. Stands up, finishes the prayer, walks out of the room. Nikolai's like, whatever. Continues on. The action sequences are really done well. As for what I'm beginning to think was guerrilla shooting.
Oh, totally. I don't think
there were no permits. They were rushing in, shoot it, run out.
Although, to be fair, can you guerrilla shoot when there is in fact no governing body to enforce you needing permits?
True. But I mean, they're obviously doing it in places that have real things going on. And I think
they had we're shooting in markets down in Afghanistan and stuff.
Yeah.
And what makes this movie absolutely stand out as fucking brilliant is that there is absolutely no OSHA compliance whatsoever with any of the action bits.
Nope.
The Russian production team are like, Squibs are really fucking expensive. Stand up against that wall. We're going to shoot next to you. And shot bullets at motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah. And there were instances where they did fake bullet hits. But I think it was more out of, all right, here's where we really can't get away with it.
If we kill our star, our movie's done.
Or it's a matter of the terrain we're going to have bullets ricocheting everywhere.
So they did have some instances of squibs, but they were more fireworks.
I think genuine fireworks, because bullet hits don't go off like sparklers and have that fireworks sound.
So here it is. Soviet Union has more or less collapsed. They have all this Russian surplus military hardware just lying around. And we're talking real life, not in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And so the production company goes and buys a whole bunch of helicopters and tanks and jeeps and whatever they could find for a case of vodka, basically. And they crash the fuck out of them.
No, and they were also getting regular old cars. That thing that looked like a Jeep. Mm-hmm. But wasn't. It's like they took a hatchback of whatever it was.
Oh yeah, and they cut the back half of it off.
They cut the top and back half and then gimmicked it a little bit, and it looked like a Jeep. It wasn't.
And then, of course, they had a whole bunch of helicopters,
Yeah.
which they actually shot bullets at.
Yeah, the whole sequence where there's the big passenger Sikorsky, big fuck with
Yeah, with the pods.
the pods and the big fuck off turbine looking things that are the dual ones that are right above the cockpit.
Yeah.
So it's that one. The bad guy's in that one, and it's really funny is prior to the helicopter chase, Oleg drives a vehicle into one of them. I mean, literally, Oleg jumps out and the vehicle goes right up into it, and shkabloom!
Stuntman, we ain't got no money for stuntmans. Get in there, get your ass in there, Oleg, and drive that Jeep towards the copter.
Yep. So the bigger beast is going to fly around. Oleg steals one of the smaller helicopters, and this isn't gimmicked. The actor ran over, got in the helicopter, started it, and flew away.
Because he was probably a Russian military man who did that.
Yeah, he knew how to fly the helicopter. Anyway, so there's that. They do that close up. So the bad guy, he's got one of those grenade launcher under the barrel AR-15 M16 rifles with the slung grenade launcher, and they show him firing it, but he doesn't. But it turns and shows the helicopter Oleg is in, and it's a bullet hit.
An actual bullet hit next to your star.
Yeah, and there's just the armor doesn't get punched through, but you see it's a glance, crunch, whang, and it's like.
Well, and there was later on in that combat sequence, the combat sequence at the end of the movie where they're dogfighting with the helicopters is fucking mental.
Yeah.
There's this one bit where Oleg's copter gets his landing gear shot off and it's like, dude, you actually realize you do have to land this eventually, don't you?
He's still flying around.
He's still flying around.
And close-ups, the actor is flying the helicopter that has one of the landing gears shot off. It's like that whole sequence had to have been done continuously. Like
I can't see how they could have.
You got the fuel. You've got the fuel. Just stay up there.
Yeah, keep going while we swap the reels on the camera.
Yeah,
and then the crash. Okay, again, no OSHA compliance. Oleg fucking crashes his helicopter, and he is in the helicopter. There's a dude in the helicopter, and the only way we figured that they could have done this was that the camera's on the left side, and he's on the right side, and he's on the outside.
He's hanging out of the helicopter. He gets it so that it's not strafing, but it's in hover. He's got it a few feet off the ground, and it's going sideways.
And so he jumps out, we think, and it crashes. I mean, and it's not a miniature. It's not a cutaway. It's not that A-team dip below the horizon and set off the explosion.
It's not the Texas Switch.
It's not
that helicopter
fucking crashing in one take.
Yeah, it's like do. Oleg in the cockpit, cutaway to a wide long shot.
Kaboom! This movie is so fucking mental.
Yeah, and then it's evident that they went up to the crash, put the fire out, and then he climbed into the wreckage.
Hey, Oleg, get over here. The thing's not blowing up. We need you to come out.
Yeah. There's still parts of it on fire, but it's evident that that's the helicopter he was flying. He climbs into the wreckage and...
And so that's pretty much the movie, stop to finish.
Yeah.
It is the most it was made in 90, 91, so technically it wasn't an 80s movie, but this is the most 80s movie I can think out of a Globus production.
Oh yeah, no, I mean you'd almost swear. Globus?
Was this did I miss the Canon logo at the beginning?
Were you here? What? There's a half dozen filmmakers that come to mind where you're like, were they here?
I don't think Menachem would have, in fact, been crazy enough to shoot at Michael Dudikoff.
No, Michael Dudikoff also would have said, no,
fuck you guys, I'm out of here.
No, I ain't doing that. Get the stunt double to do it. Actually, I think out of all of the people that you would have seen in that time frame, the one that may have come closest to being willing to do it. No, actually, no, because when they Jean-Claude Van Damme. He was originally the stuntman hired for the first Predator film.
Okay, no, that's a strong choice.
He was originally hired for the first Predator film, and there was a sequence where they wanted him, the alien, to jump down out of this whatever and land, and he refused to do it because that jump with the costume and everything going on, I'll break both of my legs. So they fired him. They hired a new stuntman. The stuntman went to do the stunt. He jumped, broke both of his legs. and Jean-Claude Van Damme was like, told you so. But even with that, out of all of the guys, Steven Seagal, Michael Dudikoff,
I can't think of any.
Jean-Claude Van Damme might have done it. Might have done it. He might have done Nikolai.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have done Oleg, but he might have done
Oleg
Nikolai.
was fucking insane. Oh my god.
He's flying that. Yeah. Oh shit.
So I suppose we've already tipped our hand. Did you like Red Mob?
It's a good film. Actually, I want to watch it again because I missed the first quarter hour of it.
I would willingly and gleefully watch this movie again. This is going into my, I need an 80s action movie fix. I need Commando. I need The Running Man. I need some Terminator. This is going in. Oleg. Put Oleg fucking on. I gotta go find out what else they've done.
Yeah, the original title of the film isn't Red Mob.
Yeah, it's something, well, basically Russian and longer.
It's 2 words. And it's like, the action is what it translates to or something like that. It's just weird.
The Red Mob makes better sense because it's
ex-KGB who have hooked up with and are now operating within the Russian mafia.
Yeah.
Is the one description I read.
So one big group of badasses now working with a bigger group of badasses, getting their ass whooped by a third badass and his friend. So thank you, Vinegar Syndrome, for bringing this movie to my attention because I would have never, ever, ever seen this otherwise.
Are there more? Are there more?
We need more of these.
More Vinegar Syndrome, more Russian mafia films. Please. Especially if Oleg's in them.
Oh, God, yeah. All right, I think, do you have anything else left to say?
No.
No? Go watch this fucking thing because it's goddamn brilliant.
Goddamn late. Might watch it tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, we'll catch you guys next time. Doodles.
Doodles.
Well, thank you for joining us with Red Mob. Next week, we're going to go down under with quite possibly my most favorite action movie to ever come from Australia. And no, it's not Mad Max, suck it, George Miller. No, it's The Man from Hong Kong by Brian Trenchard Smith. And it's fucking awesome, and I've totally tipped my hand on it if I liked it or not. Oh well. So I guess you better find out why I like this movie so goddamn much. Tune in next week for that. Please, in the meantime, I want you to drop me an email, thevideonastyproject@gmail.com. And until you turn your cameras upside down so you can actually watch the episode, because down under, stereotypes, I want you to stay evil.
Ah!